Hello everyone and welcome to this week's MB Rundown, where we give you the top headlines of the week to keep you fully informed. Much of the world had its eyes on the Philippines this week as our government played host to the celebration of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations' 50th anniversary and the ASEAN ministerial meetings. What added a more global flavor to the Manila hosting of the event was the presence of other foreign ministers from the world's superpowers like the United States, China, Russia, South Korea, and even North Korea. In all, there were 27 foreign ministers who attended the ASEAN event. During the closing ceremonies for the event last Tuesday, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte said that the ASEAN must remain united to attain its goals for a secure and stable region with sustainable growth. The president also said that the ASEAN has prevailed over the pessimism and challenges during its early years, proving to the world that diversity is not a weakness and regionalism could work. Manila Bulletin Malacanang reporter Jenaline Cabiling was on top of all the action as President Duterte made these remarks. Another highlight of the ASEAN event was the president's endorsement of the China-backed Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or the RCEP Pact, over the U.S.-initiated Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP trade deal, which he claimed was a dream that was no longer there. President Duterte called for the swift conclusion of the proposed free trade pact between the Southeast Asian nations and their trading partners to promote economic prosperity enjoyed by all. The RCEP and TPP have been widely perceived as rival trading blocs. At present, RCEP includes the 10 ASEAN members and 6 dialogue partners, namely Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand, and South Korea. If approved, it will create one of the world's largest free trade zones. The RCEP countries make up 46% of the global population and worth 24% of global gross domestic product. The ASEAN also issued a statement expressing grave concerns over the rising tensions on the Korean peninsula, stemming from long-range missile tests by North Korea. In the joint statement, the ASEAN foreign ministers said that these developments seriously threaten peace, security, and stability in the region and in the world. In this regard, we strongly urge the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to immediately comply fully with its obligations under all relevant UN Security Council resolutions. The ASEAN foreign ministers also made a declaration to adopt a negotiating framework for a code of conduct in the South China Sea. The framework seeks to advance a 2002 Declaration of Conduct, or a DOC, of parties in the South China Sea, which has mostly been ignored by claimant states, particularly China, which has built 7 man-made islands in disputed waters, 3 of which are equipped with runways, surface-to-air missiles, and radars. In one of the sidelights of the ASEAN event, the United States has agreed to cooperate with the Philippines in addressing the illegal drug problem. This is apart from tackling terrorism threat and rehabilitation of war-ravaged Marawi City. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson extended Washington's support for the Philippines on these key concerns during a courtesy call in Malacanang. Presidential spokesperson Ernesto Abella said that Tillerson finds common ground with the Philippines with regards to combating illegal drugs. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson had a comprehensive discussion on the Philippine-U.S. strong alliance and robust bilateral partnership, including the need to work together to address counter-narcotics, which is also a growing problem in the U.S. Tillerson also reaffirmed the United States' strong and sustained support for the country's campaign against terrorism. Washington also offered assistance for the rebuilding of conflict-torn Marawi, where troops are trying to flush out remnants of local terror groups for more than 2 months. Now for other news updates, a shocking revelation by estranged wife of Commission on Elections Chairman Andres Bautista had us all starting the week as witness to a telenovela-like exchange of accusations over media. Patricia Paz Bautista revealed that her husband, who was named COMELEC chairman in May 2015, had money in banks, condominium units, and shares in overseas companies worth over 1 billion pesos. She said Bautista did not include these in his Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, or SALN. The COMELEC chairman has denied his wife's accusation and claimed that it was part of her attempt to extort from him 620 million pesos in settlement. Trisha had sought the help of President Duterte before she came out with her revelations in media. And since this controversy broke out, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II has already ordered the NBI to investigate the matter. As a result of the continuing hearings over the controversy at the Bureau of Customs, Customs Imports Assessment Service Director Milo Maestrecampo tendered his resignation last Tuesday. This is after being named as one of the customs officials allegedly involved in corruption at the Bureau. In Manila Bulletin reporter Bettina K. Unita's report, Maestrecampo showed a copy of the letter he sent to the president, saying he was tendering his resignation while submitting himself to an investigation. In his letter, he said that in order to fight for my honor and integrity and in the name of delicadeza, I hereby tender my resignation and submit to investigations in order to clear my name. During a congressional hearing Monday on the 6.4 billion peso Shabu shipment from China, Maestrecampo was named by customs broker Mark Taguba as one of the officials accepting bribes for the prompt release of shipments. Maestrecampo, however, denied the accusations, saying, "I am a rebel, but I am not a thief." Maestrecampo belonged to the Magdalo Group, which launched a coup attempt during the time of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and was tapped by fellow mutineer and now Customs Commissioner Nicanor Faeldon last year to work for the Bureau. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte signed 4 new laws that are perceived to be pro-poor, and these are Republic Act 10931, or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, that provides full tuition subsidy for students in state universities and colleges, local universities and colleges, and state-run technical vocational schools. Second one is the Republic Act 10932, which provides stiffer penalties on any hospital and medical clinic that will refuse to administer appropriate initial medical treatment and support in emergency serious cases. This effectively bans the collection of a deposit in medical facilities before admitting patients. The third law that was signed is the Republic Act 10928, which extends the validity of passports from 5 years to 10 years, except for minors whose travel documents will still have a validity of 5 years. And finally, we have the Republic Act 10930, which extends the validity of driver's license from 3 years to 5 years. It also gives an incentive for drivers who maintain clean records for an extension of up to 10 years when they renew their license. Now on to international news. Tension remains high in the Korean Peninsula, with Japan warning that the threat from North Korean nuclear weapons has reached a new stage, now that it appears to have developed an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of reaching the U.S. mainland. Japan said Pyongyang's weapons program had advanced considerably, adding that it was possible that the regime had acquired the ability to miniaturize nuclear warheads. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson also had the North Korean problem in his agenda when he visited Thailand and Malaysia after his trip here in Manila. On Tuesday, the Associated Press reported that Tillerson visited the 2 Southeast Asian countries to press their leaders to step up their action against North Korea. China, which is North Korea's closest ally, admitted that it stood to pay the biggest price from the United Nations sanctions against North Korea. The UN Security Council unanimously imposed new sanctions on North Korea on Saturday over its continued missile tests that could slash the reclusive country's $3 billion annual export revenue by a third. And now back to our shores. The 10 outstanding students in the Philippines were named. The 10 outstanding students of the Philippines, or the TOSP, was selected among various student leaders from different programs who just graduated from different universities and colleges in the region. The 10 awardees were Adriel Reyes Bersola of UP Diliman, Raymond John Nagit of University of Santo Tomas, Beverly Cumla of Lyceum of the Philippines University, Janvier Saclao Bastian of Far Eastern University, John Ray Enhambre Burse of Adamson University, Janelle May Bermas Freyna of Far Eastern University, JB Reyes Landayan of Technological Institute of the Philippines, Zedric Ferrer Laki of De La Salle University, John Loris Nueva Magbuhos of St. Scholastica's College, and Lionel Totanganco of Ateneo de Manila University. The mission of these awardees is to shape role models and leaders who will spark action and inspire change among the youth of the country through leadership training seminars and outreach projects. Good luck to all of you. Formerly known as the Army-Navy Club, the three-story neoclassic building at the TM Calao Extension, aka South Road Drive, right across the western section of the Rizal Park, reopened as a 76-room boutique hotel aptly named Rizal Park Hotel. The hotel features the Army and Navy Club suite, which offers a sweeping view of the Rizal Park. The Department of Health figures show an alarming upsurge of HIV infections in our country in the last few years. From January 2012 to April 2017, 34,548 new cases of the infection have been reported, bringing the total of recorded cases to 42,912. In other words, more than 80% of the verified HIV-positive cases in the Philippines have been detected in just the last 5 years. Of the reported HIV-positive Filipinos in the last 5 years, more than 95.6% are male. Their median age is 28 years old. More than half, or 52%, are from 25 to 34-year age group, while 28% are youth aged 15 to 24 years. The figures clearly show that male millennials are at greatest risk for the disease. And now here are news from Manila Bulletin's entertainment section. Film piracy is becoming a bigger monster to fight in the film industry. In 2013 alone, a total of 30 million pesos worth of pirated and counterfeit goods were seized. This not only affects the film industry but the national economy as well. In a study made by the World Intellectual Property Organization in 2014, the motion picture and video industry formed the core part of copyright-based industries that make up 7.34% of GDP and 14.4% of employment in the Philippines. Let's hear what directors and actors have to say about film piracy.
For a long time, hindi na-address yung piracy, parang tinotolerate lang. And every time na magreklamo yung filmmakers, yung mga studios, wala. You would still see on Facebook, asan yung link, penging link, ganun. So, walang nag-a-address. So, not even the government. So, ngayon, siguro, government na rito kasi in partnership with Globe, meron, nakita ko na, we're heading sa right direction. Sana mag-work.
Sana suportahan ng mga tao yung advocacy ng anti-piracy kasi para sa akin, pinaghihirapan ng lahat mula production, director, mga artista, producers, ang pagbuo ng isang pelikula. So nararapat lamang na ang pelikula ay panoorin natin sa tamang venue, which is theater. At saka parang ang saya-saya, di ba, nung early 80s, 70s, lahat ng tao nasa theater. Pag may pelikula, wala silang pupuntahan kundi theaters. So sana ibalik natin yon by supporting Filipino films na panoorin sa mga cinemas.
Alam mo, pare-pareho kami ng iniisip ng ganyan. So, tulad nito is ang sobrang hirap gawing pelikula. Tapos, mapipirata lang siya ng ganun-ganun lang. Mapupunta lang siya somewhere na hindi siya alam mo yun, ganun siya susuportahan ng mga tao. Medyo masakit kasi ang daming nagpagod, nagpuyat, at nag-isip, naging passionate, at maraming away, maraming pinagdaanan para makagawa ng isang pelikula, lalo na dito sa Pilipinas. So, para sa akin, sinusuportahan ko tong playwright kasi nga kailangan natin tong ganito eh. Kailangan na nating stop yung piracy.
I support that. Kasi, di ba, stealing is bad. Kahit nung bata pa tayo, tinuro na yun sa school, di ba? Stealing is bad. Tapos ang usapan.
I am really inviting everyone. So please, huwag natin itangkilik yung piracy. You have to download all the right movies and then watch the right movies, and let's all support this advocacy of Play It Right. Hashtag Play It Right.
And since ASEAN celebrated its 50th anniversary, Filipinos were expected to throw a huge celebration for the momentous event. In Stephanie Marie Bernardino's report, Christian Bautista led a group of singers from ASEAN countries in celebrating 50 years of solidarity in a star-studded concert at the Cultural Center of the Philippines grounds last Tuesday. Having Christian Bautista represent the country at the prestigious event was a no-brainer. Dubbed as Asia's romantic balladeer, Christian has numerous fans beyond our shores, and he has worked on several international projects, including the Kitchen Musical in Singapore and Special Symphony in Indonesia, to name just a few. Artists from Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam also performed in the celebration. Apart from Christian Bautista, Filipino acts like Up Dharma Down, Six Cycle Mind, Itchy Worms, Baihana Trio, The Nightingales, The Wands, Tyro and Yumi, Franco, and the cast of the musical Wreck of Ages also performed at the concert hosted by Miss Universe Philippines 2010 Venus Ra. Globe Telecom is showing its support to the Philippine movie industry by striking a partnership with the Film Development Council of the Philippines, or the FDCP, to bring you Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino that moves to combat film piracy through its advocacy, hashtag Play It Right, which makes music, movies, and other aspects of the performing arts more accessible to the public, leaving us with no excuse to illegally download films and more reason to show our support to the local film industry. Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino currently has the largest number of film screenings nationwide, with 790 theaters showcasing 12 top-rated locally produced movies handpicked by the FDCP, like Isang Daang Tula para kay Stella, Hamog, Pauwi Na, and Ang Mga Nananggal sa Unit 23B, to name a few.
It's really an event that would unify in line with the celebration of Buwan ng Wika. So, Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino is a exclusive celebration of films, of Filipino films, in all the theaters nationwide, where we will all just watch local films. Wala po tayong foreign films na kasama.
And we partnered with FDC in order to push forward the filmmaking community's purpose of distributing, creating great content that help elevate filmmaking in the country.
Thank you for allowing us to be part of this. Thank you for allowing us to share our advocacy, and we have many great hopes for this industry moving forward, and we hope to be a continued part of it. Maraming salamat.
One of the platforms Globe Telecom uses to increase accessibility is the Hook mobile app that allows local audiences to access local films anytime, anywhere. Another innovation of Globe Telecom is the G Movies app, where customers could access any movie they want from the Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino's roster of films. So remember, play it right and support our local film industry by saying no to film piracy. And we end our MB Rundown this week with sports news. Filipinos were given a glimpse of the future of Philippine boxing when flyweight John Vincent Panga and pinweight Kenneth De La Peña topped their respective divisions in the ASBC Asian Junior Boxing Championship. In his report from Puerto Princesa, Palawan, Manila Bulletin Sports writer Nick Gionco said the 16-year-old De La Peña posted a 4-1 decision over a Kazakhstan boxer. Panga had a similar win over his Thai foe to bag the gold for the host Philippines. That gold medal haul catapulted to a second-place finish in the meet, which had Kazakhstan emerging as overall champion. According to the Association of Boxing Alliances of the Philippines, or ABAP, Executive Director Ed Picson, both Panga and De La Peña will get the inside track in making it to the Philippine team, which will see action in the World Youth Boxing Championships next year. For our last piece of news, Philippine Basketball Association fans of streak shooting Jeff Chan were surprised when the forward traded by Rain or Shine to the Phoenix Fuel Masters. Chan, who has been with Rain or Shine since 2009, was dealt to the Fuel Masters in exchange for tall forward Mark Borboran and Phoenix's second-round pick in the 2020 draft. So those were the top news headlines for this week, but we would like to hear what you have to say, so make sure you use the hashtag MBRundown in all your comments, status, and tweets. This has been Nicole Cordovez, and I'll see you again next week.